I'm trying to fill up one legal pad every week. I'll just put the microphone next to my dick.
Yeah, you're listening to the soothing sounds of Brody's dick. Today, we talk about... So, welcome back, episode. I don't know what the fuck. That's like my new intro, I guess.
Cool.
We are back with another special guest. I called him Brody Stevens. His real name is Brody... Is it Stanford?
Yeah, like the school.
Every time I say it out loud, I have to remind myself, is it not Stanford? No, it's Stanford, right? Okay.
No.
And fellow comedian out here in Iowa.
Yeah.
He is on Instagram at Brody F. Stevens, as well as Twitter.
Stanford.
Wow, what the fuck am I doing, bro?
No,
God
okay.
damn it.
It's okay. There's been a lot of comedians.
R.I.P. Brody
that,
Stevens.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, sorry. Brody F. Stanford, Brody F. Stevens on Instagram, Twitter, and you mentioned a show that you're also doing?
Yeah, it's not necessarily a show. It's just more my friend. He's trying to build up his We're going to turn it into a show.
Okay.
But, he's building up his video, his filmmaking portfolio.
So is this all on YouTube?
It's going to be on Vimeo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's going to be on Vimeo. It's on Instagram right now to start out.
Oh, okay. Where is it on Instagram?
His handle is Season of Mills.
Okay.
SZN of Mills.
Got it.
MILLS.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Toss that into the description, dear editor. Thank you. I got a bunch of editors now helping me do this, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I heard you can just like toss it to somebody in the like in a video editor, and
it's very helpful.
For like $20.
Very helpful. Oh, I wish $20, but no, it's worth every penny.
All right, cool.
But yeah, so welcome, man. I know you from the Iowa scene of comedy. You also manage the local comedy club, Penguins, right?
I don't anymore.
Oh, you don't?
No, I used to. But I found a real job. And, now I'm just the house MC there. I'm the house comic.
Got it.
Penguins Comedy Club.
So I wanted to start off asking you about that, but also actually let me go back even further, like your comedy come up story. Like when did you start? What inspired you? Where did you start? All those kinds of things.
Yeah, I started. I went to college here in Cedar Rapids,
right.
like right up the road at Co College.
Speaking of which, we found out we're in the same fraternity.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hell yeah. Hells yeah, dude. But no, I went to college at Co. I was in a fraternity, so I had to find a way to pay for it.
Right.
So I walked around to like all the bars in like downtown Cedar Rapids area and applied at every single one of them to be a bartender.
Okay.
I had zero bartending experience, and I will 100% admit that I lied at every single one of these bars. They asked like, "Oh, do you have any serving bartending experience?"
Actually, yeah, because what are they going to do? Call the other bars and be like, "Hey, how's this kid?"
Well, that's how references work. But
I know, but for bartenders, do they really do that? I can't imagine bars calling other bars, but hey, how's this bartender? Is he a piece of shit or what?
Yeah. No, I definitely lied. I had an experience as a busboy at an Italian restaurant in my hometown, and then I eventually got hired at Penguins.
And where's hometown? Is it not Cedar Rapids?
No, I'm from Grinnell.
From Grinnell,
Iowa.
okay.
Yeah, Grinnell, Iowa. Tiny town of like 9,000 people.
Okay, so you just came out here for college?
Yeah, I came out here to play soccer at Co.
Oh, really? You played soccer? You look like a soccer player.
Yeah, I kicked some balls.
Hey.
Yeah. But no, I got hired at Penguins, and then I was there for like a year.
As a bartender?
I started out as a server.
Okay.
And then they're like, yeah, this guy sucks at serving.
Interesting.
I was not good at it at all. So they moved me behind the bar.
Interesting.
And that's how I started bartending there. That was like 5 years ago, I think.
Okay.
And then about like a year and a half in, I was 20. I was about to turn 21 at the time. I decided, hey, I'm just going to go up and do an open mic.
Because you were seeing it happen every week.
Yeah.
Right?
Every Wednesday I would bartend for all the open mics. And
you're just like, fuck these fucks. Let me do this. Right?
I was not good. I was
well, no one's good when they first start.
No,
right?
yeah. I went up the very first time.
Some of us still aren't good. Am I right?
Yeah. No, I hopped up on stage. I thought I had like 6 minutes rehearsed. I got on and got off in 2.5 minutes.
Damn, son. Where'd you find this?
Just rushed through all the material. I was nervous as fuck.
Classic.
I went up 2 weeks after that, and then they didn't have a host for the weekend. Like, they couldn't find a host for the weekend, and they were like, you've done it a couple times.
Interesting.
It's like, yeah, I've literally done it a couple times,
wow.
like 2-3 times.
That's a lot of pressure, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who the comedian was, but they were really good. I was not. I was not at all. So, yeah, I just got thrown in,
That's insane. So how do you go from all that to then becoming the manager there?
Just kept bartending. There was another manager. So
Because I guess the manager has nothing to do with being a comedian. It's just you need a club manager, right? Okay,
there,
okay.
I mean, a big part of it was also kind of like setting up the open mics and shit like that. But like that's just because I was a comedian too.
Right.
No, I don't know. I didn't fuck up. That's how I became the manager. Really,
other than serving, got it. Okay.
Yeah. Other than serving, yeah, I never served again. After that first couple of weeks, they're like, "Yeah, no, just get behind the bar."
Interesting. Yeah, I feel like it'd be tough to manage, but whatever.
Yeah.
How long did you manage total? Roughly, a couple years.
I was like assistant manager for about 6 months, and then I quit Penguins for a year to focus on school.
Got it.
Because school's important. I had like 4 jobs at that time, and I was on the soccer team, and I was in a fraternity. I was just really involved in shit.
Is it D3?
Yeah, D3.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, D3. But yeah, no, I quit for a year, and then came back, and I was assistant manager again for another 6 months, and then. The guy that was managing at that time got fired, and then I became manager for like...
Slipped right in.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool, man. Yeah, so that's how I met you. That was the context I met you in when I got out here I got out here literally a year ago yesterday. Yesterday was July 1st.
No shit, really?
And my first day on the job, I believe, was July 1st, if I'm not mistaken. So it might have been July 2nd.
2018. Shit.
Yeah, so I've literally been here now a year.
Happy year anniversary.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
But actually, my first ever comedy club I ever went to was Penguins.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I was there. Yeah.
And yeah, it was crazy because I was like, I'd never been to a comedy club ever in my life. I'd only seen it on TV, and I just happened to I was like looking for a place to go, and just popped up. Hey, Wednesday nights we have a open mic for free show. Yeah. I saw it as a show, and it said. What did it say? It said, the location. I'm like, holy shit, this is literally across the street from my hotel. Yeah, so this is amazing. Definitely, and I had a blast. And then I was like, shit, man, let me start talking to you guys. And then slowly but surely got the confidence to get up there. And then I didn't get up there until November.
I remember a mutual friend that, Marissa, she introduced you to me the very first night. You're like, yeah, this is my first time at a comedy club. I remember that.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. All right. I don't even remember her doing that.
Yeah. I just remember talking to you your very first night at a comedy club, which was,
dude.
Yeah, fucking.
Yeah. So that's almost a year ago now. That was back in September, I think was the first time I heard about that. It might've been August, actually. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Maybe September. It doesn't matter.
Sometime around that time.
Sometime, yeah. So it's been a wild ride. Here we are. Now we're doing a podcast.
Yeah,
with the lovely Quaker Oats mill in the background here.
Making crunch berries in the background.
Dude, that shit smells amazing sometimes.
It does. Yeah. No, I remember when I played soccer. We had when we first started the season, we always had the 2-a-days, and our first practice was at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, and they were making oatmeal at 5 or 6 in the morning before any of us had breakfast, and it made us so hungry, we could hardly get through practice.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What time were you practicing?
We would practice 6 in the morning. 5,
Jesus Christ, man!
As our first practice, and then our second practice was 1 in the afternoon.
Ugh, so weird, man. I got recruited to play tennis at a D3 school, and I hated tennis, first of all. I love how I hated it, but it was the sport I was the best at. Soccer I loved, but I was okay at it. And then football, I wanted to be good, but I sucked. I was just a kicker, and then they kicked me off of that. Get it? Because kick. Hey, yo. Hey. And then what was the other thing I tried? Of course, I wanted to do basketball, but I was an absolute ass at it. I was still shooting like this.
Oh wow!
Going into medical school,
chest passing into the backboard.
Literally all through medical school, I was still shooting like this.
I could never get into basketball because I was too short in high school. I was when I graduated high school, I was 5'8".
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I was short.
Interesting.
Yep. When I got into high school, I was 4'11".
Damn.
Yeah, freshman year.
Then you had your growth spurt during college?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I got to where I'm at, I think, sophomore year of college.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's crazy, man. I was always wondering, who goes to Co? If you have University of Iowa literally a half hour away, why would you go to Co? You obviously had the soccer thing, but for general people you meet there.
It's the number 2 college in Iowa.
After University of Iowa, I'm guessing?
After Grinnell College.
Huh. Yeah. Where you're from?
Yeah. Grinnell it's been called the Harvard of the Midwest.
Harvard of the Midwest.
Yeah, because what was it? The guy that invented the silicone microchip is from there. Kumail Nanjiani, the comedian, he's from there.
Interesting.
He's not from there. He went to school there.
Yeah, I figured. Okay.
A bunch of other like Herbie Hancock, the jazz musician. Like, there's a lot of really famous alumni.
Interesting. I've never heard of Grinnell College.
Yeah, it's a really good. There's a lot of drug problems that end up coming out of there, but well,
that's usually how it goes, right?
Yeah, all that potential that potential.
So then what's University of Iowa's reputation then? Because obviously everyone out like me being outside of Iowa, all we hear about is University of Iowa, but that's in the context of the Hawkeyes and sports. You obviously don't hear about it academically.
The Carver College of Medicine is one of the top ranked medical schools.
I could see that. I could see that. Yeah. But also, like, what's the reputation of Iowa or University of Iowa? This is the sports college.
Party of school.
Okay, that's what I figured, because there was literally our state schools, State University of New York at Albany. Was ranked #1 party school in the country.
You went to SUNY Albany?
No, I didn't, but like it was in my hometown.
My brother worked there for a year.
Oh, no shit. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, because I was just like, okay, yeah, I could see that. Because
he fucking hated it. He said Albany was the most boring town he'd ever lived in.
Yeah, dude, it's not a great college town at all.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, I was always thinking, like, why would people go to Co if there's University of Iowa right there?
Yeah, smaller campus, better academics.
So more academically driven. Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
There's some crazy statistics from that school. I worked in admissions as one of my internships, so that's why the only reason I know this shit. But like last 35 years, everybody that graduated with a physics degree from Co that went to grad school, 100% for the last 35 years got a full ride. So like. They have some pretty crazy, like, there's a lot more statistics like that, but like, there's this phrase that people always say, which is, if you can't go to college, go to Co.
If you can't go to college, why?
Well, it actually started when after World War II, when they would offer free tuition to veterans. So if you couldn't go to college, you went to Co.
Meaning, if you can't afford to go to college, go to Co.
And now they're like, oh, everybody that goes to Co is fucking dumb. They do have a high acceptance rate, but they also have a high dropout rate too. So like the only people that
because it's academically driven.
Hard.
Yeah, right.
It's fucking hard.
Dude, I remember in college, because my college was a pretty heavy-duty tech school, one of the best in the country. Like our notable alumni, it's RPI, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. No one outside of New York really knows about it. Even within New York, everyone's like, oh, Rochester?
I've never heard of it before. Yeah.
But it's got a lot of famous alumni. The inventor of the Brooklyn Bridge, not inventor, Jesus Christ, the builder.
Architect.
The architect, and the Roebling. And the inventor of the Ferris wheel, a bunch of famous NASA people that I clearly don't know. So how famous are they really? Am I right?
Well, NASA people, still fucking impressive. I mean.
They have a great track record with scientists, engineers, etc. It is an engineering school, but I only went there because I got a direct admission into medical school through them, and my dad went to school there, and I grew up on that campus. So I was like, bro, this is like,
when you have alumni relatives, it's pretty. It helps.
Plus. Well, it didn't matter for their standpoint because, first of all, I was academically pretty solid in high school.
Obviously, you're a fucking doctor.
Yeah, so I was like, dude, getting into RPI wasn't the hard part. It was getting into the medical school. So once the medical school accepted me, then
Did you go to NYU?
Albany Medical College, gotcha. So... And the other reason I chose RPI is because they had a accelerated track. So it's 3 years of college, 4 years of med school instead of 4 years and 4 years. So I saved a year, so I was even younger. I had a patient today, as usual, just like, you seem so young for a doctor. I'm like, no shit. So... I mean, I shouldn't say no shit. How does she know?
Yeah, you're the Mideast Doogie Howser.
I don't know about the Mideast, but there's a bunch of us. I think I heard some dude, because I showed up to medical school at age 24.
Yeah.
The average age of matriculation, the average age you come in at is 26. Or I'm sorry, I came into med school at 21, finished at 24. I graduated at 24.
Shit.
Became a doctor at the age of 24. And the average person comes into medical school at 26. And it's probably even higher now.
Comes in at 26?
Comes in at 26. Wow, and I left at 24.
Well, I would assume, they're going to like get masters and stuff to like build
other things. Because like they didn't directly get into medical school, let alone like save a year in college. So that was kind of nice. Although it kind of was miserable too, because like you're hanging out with fucking grown-ups.
Yeah.
And you're just like, where's the party? Because I'm thinking it's senior year of college, but nope.
No, it's people that are,
Yeah, and I had no I had no appreciation for fucking like school or learning, I should say, because everything had been easy up to that point. So I was just like, all right, let me just phone it in again, but can't do that. Yeah. And you kind of have to give a shit to like be good at it.
Yeah.
So, or
it's
do
like
well.
With comedy. Yeah. You have to give a shit to be
good at it. Exactly. exactly. So that's been a great gear change for me, the whole comedy thing. But honestly, I sort of still approach it like a doctor. Like I'm looking for patterns. I'm looking for like an algorithm to not hack, but like hone in on and perfect, like, work on and shit.
Find certain styles that you're able to not necessarily emulate, but like draw influence from.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, man, it's been a wild ride. Especially, I've been telling a bunch of people this in New York, but I mean, it's so crazy coming here and going back, coming here and going back. Like, it's one thing if like you're an open micer starting out there, or an open micer starting out here, and this is all you know, and then this is all you grow in or don't grow in. But for me, it's like such a wild fucking difference between the two.
Well, yeah, with like, that's the thing is like when people move away from here and go to like a bigger city where there's a actual comedy scene, you can tell the difference when they come back. Like if they come back for a show or something, like there's a couple of my friends moved to Chicago for comedy, and they're hitting 2-3 mics a night.
Yep.
As opposed to here where you can hit 2-3 mics a week.
Yep.
Like it's day and night.
Yep.
They come back like a month later and they're light years ahead of where they were.
Yeah, people tell me that every time I come back. They're like, "Oh, dude, you got better." I was like,
"Yeah, it's because you're actually getting stage time. The more stage time you can get, the better you're gonna be."
Yeah. What do you think? Why do you think the comics here don't just start more mics? Do you think there's just not enough of a crowd for it?
It's not enough of a crowd for it. Yeah, it's hard. Well, it's gotten bigger. It's gotten a lot bigger, especially Yacht Club in Iowa City on Mondays. That one's grown. I remember when I first started out, that was a dog shit mic with a piece of shit host. Like, biggest fucking asshole.
Yeah, I'd heard about that.
His name. Yeah. His name's Tom Garland. You can look that out if you want. He's a piece of shit. But,
shots fired.
Yeah, no.
Exposed.
I don't care what he thinks. No, he would do 30 minutes off the top and 15 minutes between each comic, which is fucking ridiculous.
Wait, 30 minutes?
Off the top. As
no
the host.
wonder no one fucking came to this shit.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, nobody came to it. He always did he treated
so the
it like
Tom Garland show.
Yeah, no shit. Again, if you want to, you can bleep that.
No, it's up to you, man. You want me to leave it in? I'll leave it in.
I don't care. But no, and then it's grown significantly to the point where we actually have a crowd, which is great. The people that run that mic, Spencer Laux, shout out to that guy. He's been doing a kick-ass job actually promoting it.
Yep.
And then Penguins it ebbs and flows. Where there's some
it definitely
weeks
does.
That it like has a fucking ridiculous crowd. Like the last few weeks have been really good.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't like to credit Jameson Cox at all, but that guy built it up, and then after he left, it kind of went down a little bit, and then I've been working at building it back up.
I don't know about that, man, because like it's not like he's got the crowd that he brings.
No, yeah, that's.
Plus, I've seen
promoting and.
I see, gotcha.
Yeah,
well, I've seen
promoting.
Bigger shows, or not shows, but I've seen bigger crowds at these open mics certain weeks since he's been gone. So
yeah, and that's kind of the thing. And I think a big part of that too is at the end of every month doing the showcase. That's definitely brought in a bigger and bigger crowd.
Really? Because I've noticed it's this way.
Really?
For the few that I've gone to.
Okay.
The first one I went to was a pretty decent crowd. The second one was, I think, the one I was hosting, and that one was just like paled in comparison to that crowd. And then the next one I just came to was also like a meh crowd.
This last one, the most recent one?
I can't remember I don't know if you've had another one since.
Yeah, you weren't at the most recent one.
That was a big one?
That one was huge.
Fucking A,
It was huge.
God
yeah,
damn
there
it.
were a lot of, every table had somebody on it.
Fucking
A.
Shit.
But no, it's helped. We started that on Thursdays.
I was going to say, I feel like I remember when I first got here, you guys were doing it Thursdays and charging for it too.
We would charge $5 at the door, and then all the proceeds went to the comics. And then the owner was like, "Yeah, we're trying to do other stuff on Thursdays," which never happened.
Do they? Yeah, I was going to say, do they do shit on Thursdays?
We're if it gets to the point where we can get, that's where I was like, all right, fuck it, we'll do it on Wednesdays. We already have a crowd. Whatever, like we'll get that crowd coming in, and then eventually we move it back to Thursdays.
Gotcha.
So I'm working towards moving it back to Thursdays if I can get the next like 3 of them consistent.
I was gonna say, man, any opportunity we have to like get more mics here would be dope. And obviously we have the comics, like even because like Thursdays at High Grounds Cafe in Iowa City, it's meh, right? But like, dude, that's your average
coffee shop open mics aren't.
They're not the best, but listen, man. In New York, that's your typical New York mic. It's just like 8-9 comics.
Yeah.
Just,
only 8-9 comics.
And just sharing the mic, and that's it. And no crowd. And that's okay, because remember, it's all about just getting up there, right?
Experimentation. Yeah. And that's the thing is like, I don't know if you've gotten this after like a certain amount of time, like being on stage. I crave stage time now. any stage time I can get, I
go for it. That's the heroin addiction of a comic. Is like, dude, I need a stage time.
I don't give a shit if I'm getting paid. I don't give a shit if I'm not getting paid. Like, I'm actually starting another mic slash like month. It's going to be a monthly mic and showcase, mostly show. It's going to be at a place here in Cedar Rapids, but it's going to be like the last Sunday of every month. I was thinking about doing it as a DIY thing. Like
do it yourself?
Yeah, there's a pretty big DIY music scene in Iowa.
I see.
Which is like house shows, and like the way I interpret DIY is like doing art, like comedy and like music in places that it's normally not, like house shows, like bars that aren't normally venues. Just kind of like saying, hey, owner of this place, can we do this shit here? So I started out as that. I was like, all right, I want to do a monthly DIY show. Like every month is a different location. Then I realized I'm in grad school. It's going to be a lot of work. I don't want to do that work. I settled on just one spot. So, I mean, like it's going to be a monthly thing, which is, always in the same spot. But yeah, I'm hoping to get like 10 comics on every time and like have it.
You should do it monthly on the weeks that I'm here.
Yeah. I'll try.
Dude, I can't tell you how fucking annoying it is. Like a lot of my favorite comics in New York, for whatever fucking reason, all their like special events or special showcases that they do are when I'm fucking here. I get so fucking annoyed. Like they were filming their specials for a couple of them. Another one, there was like 4 of them that are like my all-time favorite current comics, and they were all on the same fucking show. Of course, it was a week I wasn't here. I was just like, fuck, or I was here. It's annoying. But yeah, man, that's dope. I was thinking too, like we could think about other venues too, like a comic book store or like
and that's hard. That's the hard thing is like that's tough about comedy in Iowa. That's the thing between a big scene and a little scene. Big scene, there's so many more potential venues, whereas Iowa, there's potential venues, but people aren't as open to it. It's like we don't, especially.
Why wouldn't you be open to hosting a thing that brings in potential customers?
You'd be surprised.
It's so fucking stupid.
They don't want to take risks. That's what Iowa.
What's the risk?
Yeah,
there's no overhead. There's no
overhead, no real risk to it apart from
it's not a rock
being
party.
Known as that, being known as that coffee shop or that comic book store or that whatever that has just a bunch of degenerate comedians coming in like once a week.
I don't know about that.
Like drives away other customers and just brings in this niche crowd, which is what not my thought process by any means, but I've talked to other like business owners and stuff about it. Like, hey, do you think we would be able to do this shit here? And they're like, no, probably not. I'm not.
Maybe you're just not selling it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe I should go with you.
Maybe. I'm not a good salesperson.
Be the muscle. That's the thing. Maybe you just need a good salesperson. Yeah, I could help out with that, I think. Just like fucking just shake them down. Hey, listen here, buddy. We got to make this happen.
Crack some skulls, Hey, assholes, we're doing this thing.
Or just bring James in. He's a tall guy. They'll probably be intimidated, Hey, we're doing this here. But yeah, it's, I forgot he was here. I got to get him on this. Before he goes.
Yeah, he's here until
the end of the month, he told me.
It's funny how there are sometimes comedians that leave for a little bit and they come back. Yeah. It's like I don't know.
Why did he move?
It's for comedy.
Oh, okay.
For comedy.
Gotcha.
I think it's funny. I've seen it happen a lot in the few years I've been doing it. I see people like leave for a while to do like pursue comedy and then come back. It's like,
why? Because it just didn't quote work out. Like,
yeah.
But what's working out?
A lot of it is they didn't put in the effort.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying Jameson didn't put in effort because he still has his apartment out in Colorado, but like he's back here for other reasons. But
I'm sure
there are other people that have moved back.
Yeah, I'm talking about in general. Like, what's making it? Like, isn't it just the whole point of being in the bigger scene is to like keep at it until you make it?
Yeah, and you have to be able to. Before you do something like that, you have to be able to define what your success is.
Yeah, or that too.
Yeah. You have to be like, all right, well, what are the pros of me moving out here?
Right.
What are the cons of me? Like, what happens if I do it? What happens if I don't do
it? Right.
Like, yeah.
I mean, if it works, it works, but whatever. I mean, but also, why, if you're going to move somewhere for comedy, why wouldn't it be in New York?
Denver has a pretty growing scene. So does Minneapolis.
But it's not fucking New York.
Yeah.
Why, you just want to be closer to home in case you move back? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I got to ask him. I'll definitely ask him personally.
Everybody has their own kind of like, and that's the thing is like each scene is different.
Yeah.
Each scene is a lot more different than another.
Trust me, I know. I was trying some jokes last night that I was just like, yikes.
Yeah. I'm planning a trip out to Chicago at the end of this month.
Chicago.
trying to get some shows set up. So
Chi-town.
anybody that watches this is in Chicago and needs an extra comic. I'm submitting to some showcases. I hit up some friends out there that come through Penguins on weekends.
Nice.
Like, hey, you know any mics or any shows or anything I can just hop on. I'm gonna be there for like a whole week. So yeah.
Cool.
Figure it out.
So what was the other thing I was going to ask you? Something about the mics. Oh, no. I was going to ask you about last night. So you went to...
Oh, yeah, roast of one of the local comics here. I like how this is a very niche podcast, so we're only talking about local comedians.
Whatever.
Yeah,
it's conversation.
No, it's one of the local guys. He's from like hour
Dubuque.
And a half away. Dubuque,
right.
Yeah, Dubuque, Iowa.
We're educating you guys on the geography of Iowa because I don't know where the fuck any of these
right
places
on the Mississippi River. And that's,
is it really?
Yeah.
That's the Mississippi?
Yeah.
We're that close to the Mississippi, 1 hour away?
Yeah.
Holy shit, I didn't know that. Huh. Wow, I got to visit.
Yeah, the other side of the state is the Missouri River, so more geography.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the wild thing about Iowa. It's literally like the center of the fucking country, I feel like, because everyone's always talking about...
It's more north.
Technically speaking, I'm talking more like, oh my God, people are like occasionally going to Chicago, occasionally going to Minneapolis, occasionally going to Denver, occasionally going to...
It's interesting growing up here just because like we're in the middle of all those different sports teams. So
right.
it's cool seeing all the alliances.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, like, or the like, whatever the, what do you call it? Allegiances.
Yeah.
The allegiances.
Yeah, sports fans.
The Rams used to be in St. Louis.
Oh, that's right.
In LA, so
that's right.
Like, it's an even, like from where I'm at in Grinnell, Iowa, it's like the smack dab in the middle of Iowa. So like it was even distance between Grinnell and Minneapolis for the Vikings and Chicago for the Bears, and like Green Bay is a little bit farther north, but Green Bay still had its whatever scene, and then like Kansas City for the Chiefs, and then St. Louis for the fucking Rams,
right?
And then same with like MLB teams, and none of it's in Iowa.
Yep.
No, we had nothing in Iowa.
Yeah, that's
we have semi-pro teams, but no.
And you have University of Iowa, which has been doing pretty decent at football, I guess. So there's that.
College sports are a lot bigger in Iowa than.
Yeah, because they have to be kind of like Alabama, Roll Tide, all that shit.
Yeah, because
dude, I've definitely noticed it. Just like any time I go into like a Buffalo Wild Wings, there's literally like a bunch of fans of like all the teams you just said: Kansas City Chiefs, Chicago Bears, Vikings, fucking all of them.
Yeah, same with baseball with the Twins and the Sox and the Cubs.
Sox that's crazy.
You see a lot more Cubs fans recently because of the fucking World Series.
Yeah,
I'm a Sox fan, so fuck those guys.
Wait, did the Sox win? No,
2003.
They did, right? Not recently, but I remember them winning some time ago. But I don't really follow baseball like that. I don't care.
Yeah. Whatever the year was after the Mariners won it, I don't know.
Oh, the year they beat the Yankees.
Did they beat the Yankees?
The Marlins? The Mariners. Sorry, I heard Marlins.
No. No.
The Mariners won the... Oh, well, I really don't follow fucking baseball.
No, that was when they had Ichiro Suzuki, but he just retired. But yeah, no, being from Iowa, it's definitely... We're in the center of everything.
Do you see more pro sports fans combined, scattered amongst all the different teams, or do you see more University of Iowa? I see more University of Iowa Hawkeyes shit.
More Hawkeye shit, but they also have their own like sports allegiances. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, that's also Eastern Iowa. Central Iowa is Iowa State. Like the Cyclones.
That's right.
That's
right.
Northern Iowa is like UNI, University of Northern
Iowa. That's
Panthers.
right. That's right.
And then there's also a bunch of people that like pay attention to D3 schools because there's like 20 D3 schools in Iowa, like 20 like private liberal arts colleges.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh. That's crazy. Yeah. Did you guys have a following for soccer?
No,
probably
God,
not.
No,
right?
we were awful. We were bad. We were not a good team.
Do the good teams get coverage? Were there any good teams?
Our conference. We were the worst team in our conference. The absolute dog shit.
Because you went there. Am I right, folks?
Yeah, no kidding. We had my senior year. We had this.
No, I'm kidding. You were a great water boy. No, it's all good.
We had this guy from Germany named Martin, and he.
Martin.
Good old fucking Martin. He's batshit insane, but like this dude was ranked #1 in the nation for Division III in yellow cards received.
Hey, so that's where you got that joke.
Yeah. It was not a joke. I remember it. And doesn't count the 2 red cards he got senior year either.
Nice.
Yeah, but no, we weren't good. There were like 3 or 4 teams.
And he came from Germany to play soccer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, there were like 3 or 4 teams in our conference.
Actually, that's how you know he sucked, because...
Oh, no, he plays for a semi-pro team.
Oh, does he? Yeah. Really? Wow. Because the Germans have the better soccer. Why wouldn't you stay there? You'd only not stay there.
He was an exchange student. Yeah,
All right,
so like
well.
he just was there for like a year.
Oh, so he only played a year. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, no, like 3 or 4 of the teams in our conference were like nationally ranked, like top 25 teams. So like that was, yeah, we weren't good. We never won.
Our football team, I think, went to, how far did they get? Our football team, I forget, but they were, I think, nationally ranked at some point. One of the quarterbacks got drafted by the Cardinals.
Oh shit,
Arizona Cardinals. Yeah. I think. I don't know. Fucking, who cares?
No, that's the thing is like Iowa college sports is really big, and yeah, professional sports not.
Not the comedy though. Fuck.
Yeah, no,
Damn.
that's the thing is like we are so in the center of everything that we pay attention from afar.
Right,
we don't actually like want to experience it here. We want to see it like from a distance.
Right.
You know, like with comedy, everybody just watches Netflix. You know, or like. That's the thing. I host on weekends at Penguins. I'm like the house MC or whatever. And I see these people that come in thinking it's a fucking Netflix special. And they can just talk to their TV. No, you can't like talk to the comedians during the show.
I've never seen that happen.
I've seen it happen a lot. It happened this last weekend. I had to yell at some guy on the stairs. Like, but no, he left a shitty Google review, like a 2-star review. Like, oh, we were talking. I didn't know we couldn't do that. It's like,
nice. Well, you're just going to have those kinds of people. I don't think it has to do with Netflix.
Yeah, no, it's just people that don't know how to act at a show because they don't see it here.
Not only that, but like, who the fuck teaches you not to heckle? Yeah. No one teaches you that.
Nobody teaches you. It's just a social norm. And if you don't have those things as often, if you don't go to those things as often, because it's not around, it's a lack of access.
Actually, this is
don't know how to act there.
Yeah, this is a great topic, heckling. Yeah. Like I know it's a, I wouldn't even say it's a no-no, because let's be real here. A lot of comics turn a heckle into like their most viral hit on YouTube or like something crazy, or they come up with a great improv set out of it, and you could argue it like brings out who's the better comedians, who's actually funny, because if you're actually funny, you can turn a heckle into something funny.
Yeah, if you're funny on the spot.
Right. But on the flip side, it is fucking rude.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like you have your predetermined set. If you wanted to be talking to the crowd, you'd be doing crowd work, you know? So like if you have your predetermined set, especially like for open mics, like so there's some people that are actually like planning out. Like for me, I'm trying to like film more and record more, so I'm able to like analyze my stuff and whatever, submit to things.
Right.
But
yeah, a taping is one thing, but like your typical comedy show, I mean, even if it's not typical comedy show, a guy's coming in, girl's coming in. It's a personality type that's like, oh shit, let me make this about me for a minute.
The personality type, asshole? That's what it is. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, but to play devil's advocate, they probably don't even think it's an asshole thing. They might, because my other argument for it is comedy, unlike like a concert or whatever other example, comedy is interesting because the whole idea of it is for you to be conversational and like almost pretend like you're having a conversation with the crowd.
That's something I forgot who told me this, but it was they make it seem like you're having a conversation, but you don't give them the chance to answer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why
you answer the question for them.
Certain personality types will look at that and be like, oh, let me pitch in here. Or like, hey, I have something funny to say. Let me. So I definitely don't encourage it, but like if it happens, use it to your advantage if you can.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're able to grab it and go somewhere with it. And that's also another thing is like that's a good way to write on stage.
Yeah.
That's a good way to be able to like kind of like, oh hey, I didn't think of this other thing that I just like belted out to this asshole in the crowd, you know. It's like, oh, that opens up a little bit, which sometimes hecklers are useful, but most of the time it's like, all right.
Well, when they're that drunk blackout asshole that just like is unaware and just like shouting things just to shout them, that's a different story.
Yeah, that's a completely different. I've had those people where they're just like yelling things. It's like incomprehensible. You can't understand what the fuck they're saying, and it's like, what do I do with this? You know, like you can obviously like, oh, what a drunk ass. He doesn't even know where he is. Like, yeah, you can do that, but like at the same time. You know,
I wonder if comedians have like predetermined heckles. They probably do, especially if you've been on the road for like years and you've been doing a fuck ton of comedy. Over time, you hear probably the same heckles over and over. So like you already have something prepared, you know?
Yeah.
Probably. That's what I'm guessing.
I used to have just like a in the pocket response. Like if somebody was like responding to me, it's like, oh, like what? Do you give verbal feedback to your porn? Like yeah, it's
well, no, they don't do verbal feedback. They just leave the little Pornhub comments, which are comedy gold in and of itself.
Review their porn.
That's probably what they think they're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure you could find porn hecklers if you looked for it, or if you allowed it. Now that would be a funny sketch. porn with a crowd. And, like some people are cheering.
They have shows of that. Yeah,
they do.
Oh yeah, there's
live
like,
porn.
Yeah,
that exists.
Yeah,
where? Oh, like college fuckfest kind of shit.
Yeah, I've heard of it happening in like places like Amsterdam and shit like that. I like.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Like just a stage where people fuck and you just watch it.
And there's no like screen. Are people like yelling at the
depends.
stars and shit?
Splash zone, you can have a splash zone, but like, I'm sure there's a screen of some kind, But,
I wonder if that'll be a VR thing in the very near future. Live streaming porn.
Probably.
It's probably going to be a thing.
Yeah, it already is a thing, I'm sure.
You know what? It probably is. Yeah. Just like Snapchat and shit.
I did research with VR in my undergrad, like actual like psychology research, and it was like it was timing crossing a street and it was a lot to do with perception, sensation, and perception of moving gaps in traffic, and I had a long setup to a joke about this, and then I just ended it with like, it's good to do something with VR other than porn.
Nice. Well, porn's everyone always argues like porn's the driver of technology,
Yeah.
Which makes sense. It's like you're playing to the ultimate desire of the human being.
Got this tiny little thing. I can watch porn on an airplane now.
Yeah, right. Well, please don't do that. But yeah, watch out for him on the aisle seat, or no, the middle seat, folks. That'll be bad. Can you imagine the guy in the middle seat fucking watching porn on his fucking
middle seat
laptop?
The very front.
On a laptop, not even on his phone, like doing this.
Yeah.
He's just like on his fucking laptop. I think I saw a clip of that.
Really?
Didn't I?
Somebody just watching porn on the laptop.
I could have swore. I know I've definitely seen a clip of someone just like loading up on a public library PC, just like watching porn.
Last time I worked in a library in college too, like in my undergrad, and there was this guy that came in. He was a former professor. He just like was jerking off on the third floor.
What?
On one of the computers. Yeah, he was just jerking off.
Jesus Christ,
I was there. I had to be the one to tell him stop.
He better have given you an A. I wouldn't have told him to stop and be like, yo, I'll have that A at the end of the semester and I'm never showing up to this shit again. Peace.
He was retired.
Oh, he was retired. All right. No. Oh, that's probably why. He's like,
porn.
Yeah, he's like, I'm tenured. Fuck you. Right? Yeah.
No,
nice.
Last time I flew, so very similar situation. Somebody was reading the Bible in the middle seat. What a fucking asshole. I was drinking. I had like 6 bottles of mini Tito's and like just drinking Tito's and tonics, and this guy was reading the Bible. He pulled it out after I ordered like my 3rd thing of Tito's.
Oh, I remember this joke.
Yeah. that's what happened the last time I flew, and he was just, I feel like he was doing it on purpose, like
maybe,
just to be an asshole.
No, maybe just out of fear, just be like, oh my God, release me from the temptation.
I was trying to write jokes, and I was trying to like get drunk on an airplane. Like, why
That's
not?
the way to write jokes.
Higher altitude.
For sure. Where were you going?
Colorado. I was going to Denver.
Everyone's going to fucking Denver, man.
Yeah.
What is the comedy scene in Denver?
I don't know. I've heard there's I'm trying to remember where the show is. They do a show where they have like smaller name comedians that go up on stage and like they get off, and then there's an actual good comedian after them that just kind of gives them shit or something like that.
Interesting.
I don't know. I'm doing a horrible job describing it. I'm not giving it any justice at all. I've heard it's really fun.
I'll take your word for it. I know Brett's from there, Brett Hiker.
Yeah, Brett's really cool. He's
not from there, but like I know he is he from there? I'm forgetting now.
2 weekends from now, he's gonna be
back here.
Penguins. Yeah,
nice.
He's gonna be opening up for Uncle Lair.
Huh?
Yeah, that old fucking skeleton. Jesus fucking
dude, I had him on the podcast. He's an interesting dude, man.
Brett Hiker. Uncle Lair.
Yeah. What?
Uncle Lair?
Oh no, Brett Hiker.
Larry Reeb. That would be an interesting.
I had no idea he fucking was a film grip for like
Brett?
Avengers and like all these crazy movies and shit. I'm like, what, bro? What? He's just crazy.
Yeah. Film grip. He just set up lights.
Yeah. Oh, whatever. At least you're on set.
Really
that's kind of cool,
Yeah.
I mean, he says his job is boring, but allows him to like write comedy on the side, which I guess is cool, right?
Yeah. I've been trying to do a lot more writing lately, which is, I found at work is tough. It's my job is just, it crushes creativity.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Well, I mean, like,
I think you came up with a great bit today.
Writing at my job is
well. See, here's the thing. I don't actively write. What I do is I just live life, and then if a funny idea comes to me, I'll quickly pull out my phone and just write it down.
Yeah,
I'll go weeks without writing shit down.
Really?
And I'll just keep working on whatever material I have now, or just like get up on stage with nothing prepared and just like feel it out and just like fuck around if I feel like getting cringy, you know what I mean? So I have like all different like methods I use, but I don't understand this whole sit down to write. Like, all right, time to sit down, pull out the paper.
Yeah.
Like I don't. That wouldn't work for me.
I definitely. I used to do that. And I gravitated more towards sitting down and writing. I'm doing this thing now. I started it yesterday. I'm doing New Joke July, where I write. I carry around legal pads. You know, having my backpack. I carry around my legal pads all the time. I just filled up another one today, but I'm trying to fill up one legal pad every week. I'll just put the microphone next to my dick.
Yeah, you're listening to the soothing sounds of Brody's dick.
Yeah, no, this is the very first New Joke July book I have.
It literally says New Joke July. That's hilarious.
Notebook number 1. Yeah,
Wow.
every week I'm going to fill up throughout the entire month of July. I'm going to fill up a legal pad.
What?
I finished this one today.
How big is your fucking writing?
I got all of
You're going to
these.
fill this whole... What the fuck are you doing,
These
man?
are my most recent notebooks. This happens a lot.
This is insane.
Yeah, no,
This
these
is
are my
too
most
much.
recent notebooks.
What the
The
fuck,
last
bro?
like month or so, a couple months.
I feel like that... Why don't you just write in your phone, or is that just annoying?
No, that's just annoying to me.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't like pulling.
You know what's annoying to me is fucking carrying all that shit around.
I don't know. That's I forgot who.
Hey,
it
what
was.
if you lose it? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What will I lose? My back?
Dude, I know a guy, I know a comic in New York who one day he came in, he's like, yep, just like you, had it in his book bag, and he went up to do a set, came back, and his book bag was gone.
It's Iowa. Nobody's gonna steal it.
True. Yeah, you guys are the nicest motherfuckers.
Yeah, I wrote a joke about that today, actually, how Iowa nice is just veiled anxiety because we don't talk about mental health here. You know, it's like, somebody's stabbing you, and it's like, oh, I think you missed a spot. Let me turn a little bit. You know?
Yeah, but I feel like you have to find a way to turn that into like a Canada versus type situation. Like, who's nicer, us or Canada? I don't know. There's got to be something there.
Definitely Canadian.
Yeah, but I'm saying you could like play it off each other in some way.
But no, that's the thing is like something I've been listening to a lot of podcasts about, like going in depth with like writing styles and being able to like come up with different strategies for writing.
Right.
And one of the strategies I've really liked is the circle strategy, which is like the whole spiderweb idea, where you put a topic in the middle of a circle. Okay. This is what Louis Katz does. If you know Louis Katz, he's a fucking hilarious comedian. He just has tags and tags and tags and tags. That's how he comes up with so many tags.
Interesting.
He puts his punchline in the middle, and he just like draws a line, draws a line, like all the different ways you could go with the joke.
Interesting.
And then you even branch out further from there. You know, it's like a tree. You know, it just keeps building and building and building.
That's an interesting
branches
thought.
and leaves. Yeah.
I feel like that would be easier to do with a group. Like if you could get 2-3 comics together to write, which never fucking happens, or at least I'm not getting invited to them. I don't know.
I do enjoy writing with other comics, but it doesn't happen as often.
Just never happens,
because
right?
comedians always fall through with plans and shit. You know, like we're degenerate pieces of shit.
But that's the sad thing is like if you guys really want to be good comics, why wouldn't we all sit down together and like help each other come up with funnier
riff off
bits?
Each other,
yeah.
Like, say like, hey, this is something I've been thinking about writing a joke about.
Yeah, because honestly, I've come up with certain jokes that I use to this day from like either a podcast conversation like this or just like random conversations with people, or just hearing someone else tell their joke, and I'm like, oh shit, something similar happened to me. Let me write mine. So
I don't know. I've been trying to do a lot more just writing it. Obviously, the New Joke July thing, I'm trying to do a lot more writing.
Actually, you know, it'd be hilarious. Maybe we could do like I only brought 2 microphones, but we could do like a podcast showing comedians just like doing that writing process. Like, hey guys, this week I brought this.
Yeah, this is what our writing process is, kind of thing. Talk about our process.
No, don't talk about the process. Do it.
Like, do it as well.
Yeah, fuck talking about it. We'll just do it.
Yeah.
Do, don't show. Or show, don't tell. Am I right?
There's another comic that I really like, Clara Ryan, a local comedian. She told me about this method that I've been trying to get into, which is you get a topic and you say like what you like about it, what's weird about it, what's hard about it, and something else like what's funny about it. You know,
that's her writing process.
Yeah, okay. Like you get a topic and you just have like 4 columns, like what's funny about it, what's weird about it, what you don't like about it, all that shit. You know, yeah,
interesting.
And it's like, I don't know. For me, I used to just come up with the punchline and write around it. I still do that sometimes, but like sometimes I do like a premise and then write around that, you know.
You know, I don't even think about my process. I just write. Like if something a funny thought comes to me, I'm like, holy shit, here's a funny thought. Let me.
It's easier to word vomit onto the page, kind of thing, you know. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Did I write anything today? I did write a joke today. What was it about? Oh, joke about syphilis. I'm going to try it tomorrow for the first time. Yeah. Right. I tried like almost all new material last night, and a lot of it failed.
Yeah. It's hard. Like it's hard doing new material in Iowa, just because you can't get enough stage time to This is the stage time problem. It's a fucking desert.
It's also a pussy problem, if you will, because like you just have to have the confidence. Like
exactly.
What I did walk away with last night is, even though a lot of the jokes didn't go well, at least have the confidence to like keep going and then even riff off of it and get a laugh out of that at least and stuff. So it's like that's every time I come back, I feel like I've gained a new piece that I'm like trying to put into the rotation. So that's kind of cool.
Between open mic, like life open micers, or like people that are on shows, is like people that
take risks,
go to
get
open
better.
mics and they take those risks that are like, oh, I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah. How else are you going to fucking figure this shit out? You know?
Yeah.
And what am I going to do?
People that they write for years. They write for years before they even go up on stage. That's pointless. That's fucking pointless. Why would you do that? What are you writing?
So I guess they just enjoy writing is ultimately what we're saying.
I guess. Like, just
and I know people like that.
Writer,
Not even. Asshole. I know people like this who are just like, they don't want to be part of comedy, but they enjoy having comedic thoughts.
Yeah.
I have friends like this.
Yeah. So like two of my best friends, one of them, Jake Mills, the one I'm doing the filming with, he has been writing jokes for a long time. He keeps saying like, I want to go up. I want to go up. I want to go up. It's like, then fucking go up, dude. You've been writing jokes for how long now?
I mean,
get
dude,
off your ass and get on stage.
it is a scary thing
to tell what it, you don't know if it works until you say it.
Right.
You know, I could write the most carefully crafted, well-researched joke. It's going to do a shitty job on stage as opposed to like whatever, the most recent dumb fucking joke I wrote, which was like, first date is like a job interview for the missionary position is what the joke is.
Okay, say that again?
A first date is like a job interview for the missionary position.
I gotta stew on that.
It's dumb. It's stupid.
First date is like a job interview for the missionary position.
Yeah. It's like a job position, but like, you know.
Yeah.
First date is an interview.
I'm trying to think where you could take that.
I've got plenty of, that's just the punch. I've
got it.
I've already done it a couple times on stage.
Got it.
That what I'm saying is those dumb ones work on stage as opposed to the ones that are more carefully researched. And
sometimes something will have me a bit. Whoa, that was unexpected. But you know what? I know exactly this kind of guy that you're talking about. Jake Mills. Fuck you, Jake. No, I'm kidding. No, Jake sounds to me like a perfectionist. Like he'll write the jokes and he's like, oh, this is a perfect joke.
Yeah.
But it's so perfect, I don't want to find out if it works. You know, like, or he's carrying that same energy into getting up on the mic. He's like, I don't want to get up onto the microphone until I'm ready. Like, bro, you're never going to be ready. Yeah. I was so fucking nervous going up on my first time because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, dude, I gotta kill, man, or else I'll be. It's like, no one gives a flying fuck if you get up there.
From your bombs than you do from the times you do well.
Right.
Yeah.
And you also have to remember, like, there will be another mic, and people will forget that you bombed. No one remembers except you fucker.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Jake. No, I'm kidding. But no, it's
I kind of understand where he's coming from though. Like for me, like I'm okay with everywhere else. I'm a perfectionist. Everywhere else in my life, I'm a perfectionist. But when it comes to comedy, I'm willing to take risks. I'm willing to look like an asshole.
Yeah, dude, you have to. You really have to.
Yeah. And shit, Jeff Dye, I was talking with him this last weekend. I was telling him about the New Joke July thing. He was like, yeah, you know, like if you obsess over something, you'll find success.
Yeah, that's literally true.
Doesn't work with stalkers. but no, I've been trying to obsess.
Well, here's the more nuanced thing to that is like it could work with soccer. Yeah. Maybe you won't make the MLS or Barcelona.
You'll make like the local semi-pro team.
Or you end up managing a team, or you find yourself running a soccer store or something. You know what I mean?
You'll still be in it, but you just won't. You'll be more on the administrative side.
Like if you love something enough, you will find a way to be in that world and do something part of that you find joy in, that you also are comfortable. But you have to have some self-awareness for that too. You know?
Yeah, I've been looking into alternatives to comedy, not like because I'm afraid I'm not going to succeed. I mean, like I know I'm only going to get to a certain point because it's so oversaturated at this point. But
I wouldn't say oversaturated, but I mean, there's a ton of roles. You could do sketch, you could do comedic movies. You could do.
I'm looking into voice acting. That's the thing that like I've always been told by my teachers, my like theater coaches, like my family, a lot of people, they always say like you should go into voice acting.
Yeah, I've been told the same thing, but it's just like where the fuck do you start with that shit?
I got a friend that does a lot of stuff in Des Moines for voice acting. He said like, hey, next time you're in there, just pop by. So
like he actually does work?
Yeah, he does a lot of commercial voiceover stuff.
Interesting.
For a lot of local Iowa stuff. But yeah,
I wonder how much like creative freedom they give you with that though. I
Not
feel like
a
they
lot.
just want
It's usually just reading off a
It's
script.
like, dude, read the fucking lines and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I also got some friends in animation too that I might hit them up at some point. But
Yeah, I should look into New York. I'm sure they have to have thousands of those kinds of, not thousands of positions, but
a
like,
good amount of them because there's a lot of creative outlets in bigger cities like that.
right.
Like
And
New York
but I'm sure
or
it's also saturated with a ton of people trying to do it. But,
yeah, that's the other thing is you have to find something to distinguish yourself.
Right.
It's hard. It's really, especially in comedy, you have to be able to distinguish yourself from other people because there's been times that like.
What do you think this is?
Yeah, no shit. No,
I'm pointing to my
Jimmy
face.
Pardo is a really funny comedian. He was a writer on SNL, I think. I ended up with the same fucking joke as him about Donald Trump ruining red hats. You know, like almost exact same joke as him, and like told it on the same night hosting for him. I felt like an asshole, and I went up to him after the show. I was like, Jimmy, like one of us has to drop it. I was like, I'll drop it. Yours is better. So yeah, no, like I haven't told this since, but no, it's the thing is you have to. There's so many comedians, so little content you can go off of.
I disagree.
There's a lot of content you can go off of, but the thing is, it's what you do with it.
Right, which is very individual. So
Yeah, exactly.
who can make it funny, that's going to stand out. You know?
Yeah, you have to be able to distinguish yourself.
Yeah, but I'm happy you said that because like I've noticed I'll go to the premier comedy club in New York, Comedy Cellar, and every time I've gone, I've had a blast.
Yeah.
The comedians there are like very well-known comedians, Netflix special guys, people in movies, all this kind of shit.
Yeah.
But a lot of these acts, I walk away being like, yo, I laughed, but I don't remember a fucking word this guy said.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, distinguish yourself is definitely half, if not more so, of the battle.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's also just fun being in the scene. Like, it's just fun. Like, this is fun. Like, just talking to a comedian.
Yeah.
So even if it doesn't go anywhere, at least I met cool people that I could fucking laugh with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's also good for a creative outlet.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like you can't only view it as a creative outlet if you want to go anywhere with it, you know?
Well, you kind of have to like, what do you call it? Obsess over it and like put in some fucking effort, like you said. So that's everything in life, you know?
Yeah. Shit. What was I gonna say? This podcast. I mean, like, you know, you have to find a way. Like, even with things like this, you have to find a way to make it your own. You know?
Oh, that's not hard.
Yeah. So many fucking podcasts out there.
Oh, that's what you mean. Got it.
Yeah.
Well, okay. No, my answer to that is yes, but also you have to also be willing to do it, assuming no one's listening.
Yeah.
Because like when I first started, I was getting like what 15 views on it or some shit, which isn't nothing.
Yeah.
Especially because I already had like a little bit of YouTube audience, and
because
then,
of your shoe stuff,
right?
Yeah.
And I knew people weren't going to click on the fucking podcast.
How often
right?
do you think it's people with a foot fetish that watch your?
I mean, I get
watch your shit.
I get emails from people sometimes be like, "Yo, you want to model your feet? Nothing weird." I'm like, "Yeah, all right, yeah, cool."
Yeah, nothing like your bare feet or feet with shoes.
I don't know. I didn't even respond. And then there was another one. Gross. Another dude slid into my DMs. He's like, "Yo, can you send me a picture of you and just your socks?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I just have this fetish about dudes in socks. I mean, gay guys, obviously, but
but at the same time, it doesn't matter. Straight gay is like fucking feet are disgusting, dude.
I think so too. That's why I love shoes because it's like it's covering this gross part of you. Granted, I'm saying that as a fucking butt doctor.
Yeah, you're saying that as
but I would, man. All right, I was gonna. Nah. All right, so where was I gonna take that? I just didn't make sense to me. It's like, dude, my foot was with a sock in a shoe all day. Now you want me to take my shoe off and then stick that foot with a sock on, let alone without the sock on, in your mouth? It's fucking gross, man. But do you? I'm happy for your passions and your choices in life.
Some people,
but it's not for me.
Weird shit.
Yeah, it's not for me. But yeah,
to them it's not weird.
Right. I'll get strange requests like that. Not all the time, but it's happened like 3-4 times.
Jeez. I mean, if you make some money off of it, fuck it.
Actually, I could monetize it. Just become a foot whore. You know. There's something.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll put it on the Patreon. Donate $1,000. Get my sock photos.
Catch a malpractice suit. There you go.
Damn, that would be an interesting tier.
Yeah, quite the switch there.
You know what?
It's like Walter White, but gross dudes.
That would be. I would be fascinated to see if I did a Patreon tier. $1,000. I'll show you pictures of my socks and my feet and shit. Hey, I think I would take it. I think I would do it.
Oh yeah,
$1,000 a month.
Yeah, I would take that.
Fuck
yeah. Jesus, if I could model these disgusting ass fucking Chuck Taylors.
No, not even the shoes, just your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I do pride myself on my socks. That's something.
Okay.
I always got.
Yeah, I don't mind socks, but I'm not a huge sock guy. So it's just, I wish I was over the shoes. It'd be fucking cheaper, and it would be a lot less space consuming.
Yeah. A friend of mine, this is getting a little sad, but like his grandma always said, if always buy socks that make you smile. So that when you're having a bad day and your head's down, you see your socks and you're like, oh, all right.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah, it's fucking adorable.
I have a pair of sneakers I just bought, Nike Air Max 1 Indigo Storm, Have a Nike Day, that came out in March or April apparently, but not in the US. Anyway, it's a beautiful fucking shoe, and what I love about it is they have these two smiley faces, but instead of just ... smile, it's ... Nike swoosh.
Yeah, I saw you.
Oh, you saw those, yeah.
Instagram, yeah.
So I love those because like sometimes I'll look down and I'll see the two smiley faces looking back at me. I was like, oh, that's dope. Yeah. And not only that, it's facing that way, away from me. So like when someone looks at my feet, they'll get the smile.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's that emotional contagion. You know? You see somebody else smiling.
Plus the shit is
a little better now.
Yeah. Plus the shit is fucking gorgeous. It's just like this beautiful blue suede. I'm getting hard, man. No, I'm kidding. But let's see what else. We probably should wrap this up because I know we can still see each other, but yeah, this camera is probably having an intimate conversation about feet
increasing
in the dark.
Exposure, get all the light in. Yeah.
Well, it's on auto, but it's like whatever, man. I'm not fucking.
I'm sure the auto, deals with the exposure.
Well, the key is the audio, so I think we're good.
Yeah.
But anything else you wanted to talk about?
Oh shit, I don't know.
Bitches and hoes.
Yeah, is this where I plug stuff or like?
Yeah, why not? Let's end it.
Cool. Yeah.
Where can we find
every Wednesday at Penguins? Every Wednesday at Penguins, 8 o'clock. I host the open mic every week. Every weekend, I host. There's professional comedians that come through. Next weekend is Jackie Fabulous from America's Got Talent. I think she's still on that right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. But Jackie Fabulous, Uncle Lair, Carlos Mencia in August.
Oh, that's right. I saw that.
Yeah, I'm going to be hosting for all those.
Surprised he still gets to work.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything. But, it's, the last time he was here, he was a nice guy. So, yeah.
Oh, he's been here before.
Yeah, he's been here a couple times.
Well, I'm sure if he's still touring, if he was still doing that shit, I'm sure it would still be a mess. But whatever.
I'm just going to say I'm not going to do my good material.
Got him. Shots fired. I mean, maybe he's changed his act around. Good for him.
Yeah. Starting in August, last Sunday of every month at MoCo in Cedar Rapids. Last Wednesday of every month at Penguins. We do the showcase, and catch me in Chicago at the end of the month.
Hey, what's in August?
Last Sunday of every August.
Is what?
It's a new show. At MoCo, we're gonna be doing. So the
Where's
setup
MoCo?
of the show, it's like a hot dog and game bar.
Huh? I've never heard of this.
Coe College. It used to be this place called Mahoney's. We had a mic there every week.
Interesting.
But yeah, the setup for the show, I'm pretty excited about it. It's gonna be
fucking. I'm not here end of August, motherfucker.
Sorry. But no, it's 10 comedians, 5 people doing 5 minutes, 3 people doing 10 minutes, and 2 people doing like 15, 20 minutes. We're going to be bringing in like people on like routing dates and shit. Okay. Yeah, we're going to try to get some big comics coming through. I got a couple names I'm sending out, feelers for, but we're going to be doing that. And then like those people doing 5 minutes, we're going to be like messing around with a little bit, do like roast battles and stuff, do like me and a couple other comics, we had this idea of like taking each other's notes and trying to riff off each other's notes.
Interesting.
Kind of yeah,
interesting.
We're going to be doing a bunch of other shit with, just experimental stuff for those people that are doing 5 minutes.
Got it. Oh, cool.
Yeah. That's going to be end of every month, last Sunday of every month, starting in August.
Got it. All right. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming, Brody Stevens, the one and only.
Yeah, back from the dead. Jesus.
Thanks for tuning into the podcast. We'll see you guys around. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.